We are inching closer and closer to Alpha 2 for Ashes of Creation, with some spot testing already occurring from select testers. During the most recent monthly livestream from the team at Intrepid Studios, they dove into great detail about the artisanship system for the game, and I'm going to be covering it for you here now. Now before we get into it, make sure that you like this video if you find it entertaining or helpful, and subscribe to the channel. Also feel free to join my Discord server, and if you haven't made your Intrepid account yet, be sure to use my link to set yours up now. It's a great way to help out the channel once the game comes out. All the links will be down below in the description. Now let's get into the meat of the video. One of the things that we're going to really notice in this video overall is that the game is coming along very nicely. The graphics continue to be polished, the UI is more refined, and we're starting to see a lot more of the integration with the world and the UI and all of the other elements. So it's nice to see that that's coming along. And you know, with Alpha 2 coming up soon, and again with the spot testing already starting, it's nice to see where the game is and where it's heading still. As I said at the beginning of this is going to be a video with a detailed exploration of the artisanship system in Ashes of Creation. Artisanship in Ashes of Creation is a multifaceted system encompassing various professions, each with its own unique characteristics and requirements. Professions like mining, herbalism, and lumberjacking allow players to interact with the environment, gather resources, and contribute to the game's economy. This system is designed to be deeply immersive, offering players a wide range of choices and paths, encouraging exploration and interaction with the game world. It's really neat to really look at the artisanship panel at this point and really see that crafting, gathering, and processing are their own elements. So it's not part of, you know, crafting encompasses all of them. It's actually the artisanship that encompasses all of them. So you don't have to do all of them together. You can do parts that you want to do and become a master of what you want to be in the crafting world. The other good news with this system is that everybody can be a novice in everything. So you'll be able to do a little bit of everything if that's what you want to do. You'll be able to be mastered in a few things, but then also grandmastered in 2 things. So it really does give us a level of flexibility when it comes to the overall artisan system. Now, gathering is a core aspect of artisanship, where all players are going to be collecting resources. Now, while you'll be able to collect normal resources like ore and wood, there are going to be recipes that require specific unique items. In the example they give in the video, they are looking to craft the Night Blade, which actually requires night opals and moon bells. Each of these have unique conditions and locations. For example, the night opal can only be gathered at night in specific locations. Speaking of recipes, crafting involves learning and using recipes, such as the Night Blade recipe. It sounds like most of the recipes in the game, once you learn them, you will have them learned. Now, it does sound like they are still talking about having a charge rate on some of them. Say, we might be used to single-use crafted recipes in other games, so we may still see something like that as well. Now, the idea behind crafting in Ashes of Creation is that the process is highly interactive and dynamic. It's going to require players to explore the world, experiment, and refine their gathering and crafting professions to advance and make the best items. One of the other really interesting things about the actual crafting side of it is when you do have a particular recipe, you can actually change the selectable items that you put into it, and it can change the rarity of the item and potentially what it actually does as far as how much damage it does or the tertiary stats that are accompanied with it. So this is that part they're talking about with the exploration and experimentation in crafting and seeing what you can actually make. So that's actually really cool. It's a little different. Tools and equipment are essential in artisanship, with each profession requiring specific types. For example, herbalism requires a sickle. These tools are not just static items, however. They have durability, and it depletes over time, so it adds a realistic aspect of resource gathering. Players will start their artisanship journey with quests that introduce them to basic tools and teaching them the fundamentals of crafting and maintenance. Another type of maintenance that is going to be required in crafting is definitely inventory management. Now, strategic inventory management is crucial in Ashes of Creation. Players are going to have to choose the right bags to fit their resources, affecting how they store and carry items. Bags are tailored to different gathering professions, influencing stack sizes and how items are organized in a player's inventory. This system encourages players to think ahead, plan their resources, and adapt their inventory to their specific gathering goals. And while this wasn't covered in great detail in the video, they did kind of show it in that there are additional types of gear for the different professions. Now, we have seen this in other games like New World, for example, where if you're wearing a full lumberjacking setup, you're going to be able to lumberjack faster, carry more wood, get more crit resources off of those. So we will see some of that stuff in this game as well. Now, one of the big deals with the artisanship is going to be your skill trees and progression. Players are going to have to develop their artisanship skills through a comprehensive skill tree, offering paths that focus on various aspects like yield, quality, or specific gathering techniques. Now, as players level up in their chosen profession, they're going to unlock new abilities and efficiencies, enhancing their overall gathering and crafting capabilities. The skill tree system allows for a high degree of personalization, letting players tailor their artisanship journey to their playstyle and preferences. It's been made very clear over the development cycle of this game that the world is a very important part of Ashes of Creation, and it's going to play a pretty significant role in the artisanship experience. Resources aren't static. They spawn in different locations, encouraging players to constantly explore. So we've seen this in other games where you always have a route that you're going to take to pick up ore. That's not going to be the case in this game. You're going to have to come across things a little bit more organically and naturally, and that's going to actually change it up a little bit, and I think that's actually a good thing as well. The survey system is a tool for gatherers to locate resources, though. It integrates their skills with the game's evolving environment. This is a dynamic system that requires players to be a little bit more adaptable and responsive to the world's changing conditions, and making gathering more of an expedition than just, something you do passively. So to kind of wrap this up, the artisanship system in Ashes, it's going to be this big immersive experience, and it's going to kind of blend crafting and gathering. And you're going to have to think a little bit differently, and it's not going to be the same experience you've had in other games. It's not just about collecting resources. It's about exploring the world, engaging with the game's world and economy, and finding your own place in the landscape of the game. Again, this system is really a testament to the game's depth and complexity, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see how players really develop these professions and what they do with it and how it contributes to the overall game experience. So let me know what you guys think about the artisanship system in Ashes of Creation from what you've seen so far. And do you like that it's different than other crafting systems in games, or do you prefer a more traditional style where things are a little bit more static and linear? Let me know down in the comments below. That's going to wrap this video up, and I will see you guys in the next one.